Edinburgh is absolutely festooned with famous statues, and each of those famous statues has a fabulous story to go with it. I'm sure you've seen and heard the story of Greyfriars Bobby. Behind me is one of my favourite statues in Edinburgh, and the story that goes with this one is perhaps the most fascinating. This is the story of Wojciech the War Bear, and to tell this story we're going to have a wander around Edinburgh and take a trip down into the Scottish borders. We're starting our little journey today up here on Princes Street. Just over there is Edinburgh Castle, and now we're going to head down into Princes Street Gardens. Just down this wee cobbled ramp. And just ahead of us is Wojciech's statue. Here he is, Wojciech the War Bear. The statue's in a fabulous position just opposite the castle on the other side of Princes Street Gardens. And he's very popular with the walking tours, as you can see. Once these people have moved on, we'll have a closer look at the bear. Here he is up close, and like quite a lot of statues in Edinburgh, Wojciech has a shiny golden nose. I don't know what it is about people insisting upon rubbing the noses of animal statues. Now, Greyfriars Bobby has a really bright golden nose because everybody thinks that if they rub Bobby's nose, it'll bring them good luck. But in fact, that was a myth created by a travel company over 20 years ago, which persists to this day. I don't know why people are rubbing Wojciech's nose, though. Anybody know in the comments? Next to the bear is the soldier, the Polish soldier, and that is significant when we delve into the story of the statue. The statue itself is actually a war memorial, Wojciech, in memory of the Polish men and women who fought for your freedom and ours. The backdrop to the statue memorial tells the story of Wojciech the Bear. When he was a cub, he was given to a Polish regiment of soldiers in Iran. They then went to Egypt, and as the bear grew up, he became integrated into the company. When they were ordered to leave for Italy, they wanted to take the bear with them, but the rules said no, only enlisted men. So they enlisted Wojciech into the Polish army and gave him the title Private Wojciech. Wojciech ate and drank with the soldiers, actually smoked cigarettes and drank beer. And he was involved in Italy in the Battle of Monte Cassino in World War II, carrying artillery shells. Here you can see him carrying an artillery shell as part of that backdrop, and there are the soldiers at the Battle of Monte Cassino. After the victory at Monte Cassino, Wojciech was promoted to corporal. Corporal Wojciech the War Bear. After World War II, the Polish soldiers relocated to the United Kingdom, and they brought Wojciech with them. And that's why we need to head out of Edinburgh for the next part of our story. The last part of the backdrop gives a hint as to where Wojciech ended up. But I'll tell you that later, once we've headed out into the Scottish borders. We'll just take a walk through the rest of Princes Street Gardens and head to Waverley Station. Minutes and 2 stops out along the East Coast Main Line. And now we're going to transfer to the car, because where we're going this afternoon, public transport isn't at its best. We're heading for a village in the Scottish borders called Duns. It's going to take us a little over 30 minutes to drive to Duns, and there's some fabulous scenery to see on the way to the final chapter of Wojciech the Warbear's story. Wow, it's windy up here on the Lammermuir Hills, but I just wanted to stop just for a second to show the amazing view, and it's only taken us 15 minutes to drive here from the station. Take a look at that. You know you're in the middle of nowhere when you have to drive over cattle grids, don't you? Welcome to a very windy Duns here in the Scottish borders. Now, this town was very close to the airbase, Winfield Air Base, that the Polish soldiers were deployed to after World War II. And that was the start of an incredible bond between Scotland and Poland. And today, as you can see, Duns is twinned with a Polish town, Żagań. That's important for the rest of our story. OK, let's have a wander around Duns and see if we can find the statue of Wojciech the Soldier Bear. Here's another thing that Duns is famous for, the Jim Clark Motorsport Museum. As I said earlier, public transport isn't prolific around these parts. You can get a bus from Duns to Berwick-upon-Tweed, to Galashiels and to Eyemouth, but nowhere else. So car is essential if you want to visit Duns. There was a train station here originally, but that went way back in the 1960s. Some lovely old buildings here, as you would expect. Look at those gargoyle-type motifs above the door. School of Industry, Feed My Lambs. Oh, and down this lane I spy a pub. The Black Bull Inn. And it's a Belhaven Brewery pub. Well-behaved dogs welcome in the bar only. How's the menu? We've got soup for £7, black pudding for £8.50. For mains, we've got fish and chips, £13.95. Not bad. It says it's a hotel. We might go back there for a spot of lunch later. I do love these narrow streets. I think we're heading towards the town square now. Yes, indeed, the town square is ahead of us. Looks like another hotel and pub here, the White Swan. This is a typical, beautiful Scottish borders town, isn't it? This building was a workingmen's institution dating back to 1877. It's now Duns General Store. And there's a Jim Clark Cafe Bistro as well. Actually, if you look at this information board, there's quite a lot to see in Duns. We've got that Jim Clark Museum, we've seen that. We're going to see Wojciech. And there's quite a few other things to do as well. And I just love the name of this pub. The Whip and Saddle. Definitely spoilt for choice. Black Bull, White Swan, Whip and Saddle. I do quite like this town square. There's a coffee and baguette and panini shop over there. But first of all, let's check out the Mercat Cross. This Mercat Cross was originally built in 1792. It was removed when they built the town hall in 1820, but re-erected here in 1897. Let's shift the narrative back to Wojtek the Soldier Bear. When he was stationed nearby with the rest of the Polish soldiers at Winfield Air Base, he also became extremely popular with the locals in these parts. So much so that eventually he became an honorary member of the Polish-Scottish Association. Here's a bear that was a private, then a corporal, and then an honorary member of an association. Has there ever been a more decorated bear in history? Time to go and find the statue, I think. Use this coffee shop as your reference point, and it's just around this corner off the main square. And there he is, another statue of Wojtek the Soldier Bear, the War Bear, holding on this occasion his famous artillery shell. And I love this plaque. There you go. Wojtek the Soldier Bear, gifted by the people of Żagań, April 2016. I love that this statue was gifted to the people of Duns by the people of their twin town, Żagań. It highlights that bond that was created between Poland and Scotland during and after World War II. I am absolutely enamoured by the story of Wojtek and his statues. In addition to the statues in Edinburgh and Duns, there are also statues of Wojtek in Krakow in Poland and Cassino in Italy. Actually, I just noticed this statue doesn't have a shiny golden nose. Presumably people aren't rubbing the nose of this statue. This park bench has a very abbreviated summary of Wojtek's story, including how it all ended. When the Polish Company of Soldiers was disbanded from Winfield Air Base in 1947, Wojtek was relocated to Edinburgh Zoo, where he lived out the remainder of his days, to be frequently visited by the Polish soldiers and other fans from around the Scottish borders. He lived a long and happy life. People would still sneakily feed him cigarettes when the zookeepers weren't looking. I wonder whether they managed to smuggle him any beer. Sadly, Wojtek died in 1963, but what an amazing life for an amazing soldier bear. I'm almost in tears here thinking about this fabulous story, one of the best historical stories I've looked into. What a fabulous afternoon it's been. Tell me down in the comments, what did you think of the story of Wojtek the Soldier Bear, the War Bear? You know, next time you are in Edinburgh, don't make a beeline for Greyfriars Bobby. Check out that statue of Wojtek in the Princes Street Gardens. And if you've got a car, consider coming along here for an afternoon in Duns in the Scottish borders. Beautiful little village. If you want to find out a little bit more about Greyfriars Bobby and the second Greyfriars Bobby, the film star Bobby, I'm going to put a video up on the screen now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one for some more travel adventures and a little drop of history.
I can